Okay, welcome back to another episode of the HomeTown podcast, where we're going to talk hometown, we're going to talk life, and we're going to talk together. Today we have a special guest, Christine Thomas, also known as Christine Cheney Thomas for me, because Christine was my daughter's age growing, when she was in school, and so I saw a lot of Christine as a young person, and it's kind of tough sometimes, Christine. I get the Cheney thing, I just can't get it out of my head, but Sherry reminds me, actually, I get an email from you, I think it's spam. Who is this Christine Thomas person? Yeah, that's right. But this series of episodes we're doing on the podcast are really in an effort to kind of introduce you guys to our customer, to our even other team members, because like in your case, I know you're in the background. You're not necessarily out front. You're not getting a chance to engage day to day, and so. I think with Hannah, I talked about it being the silent busy, and that's kind of what happens. But let's talk more about, where you're from. That's always a Southern question, and it's a question. Where you're from, kind of where you went to school, how many sisters, brothers, whatever you have, and just tell us a little bit about yourself. That's really what it's about.
I am from Oneonta, born and raised, went to Oneonta High School. Graduated in 2010 with Jordan. From high school, I went to JSU, got my degree in finance, and then stayed at JSU while I worked. I worked in East Aboga for a little bit and got my master's, got my MBA, and then moved to Birmingham. Then we ended up back in Oneonta, been here ever since. Married to Jake, and we have 2 kids. Price is 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 years old. That's how I always type it, is 2.5.
Yeah,
2.5 years old, and then Claire is 14 weeks. So life is busy.
There's the new one.
Yep.
Yeah. I always wonder about that newborn and a 2.5, I was asking, someone else has a newborn, and they said that the newborn's not the problem.
Yep.
The 2.5 is the problem.
2.5's the hard one. Oh, yeah. The baby's easy.
Yeah.
She just sleeps and eats and smiles, and the
right.
2-year-old runs around outside and wants to play in the sprinklers and hit golf balls and all the things.
They rock their world. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, that's we've talked a lot in these interviews about the chapters of life and how from my perspective, 22 years of watching people have children and mature, go through those chapters of life, and so. And when you reach the point where we have like 60 team members now, that's 60 live, 60 whatever. And, but these children are extraordinary. I mean, it's been, still is just one of those things that cranks your tractor every day to get it going. But yeah, 2.5. And so they're going to be about 2 years apart, something like that. Well, that'll be fun.
I feel like once they get a little bit older and can play together, it's going to get a little bit easier, hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, the baby probably has a hard time doing all that the 2.5 wants to do.
Yeah, the other day, Price wanted to put her in the ball pit with him at home. We have a little ball pit. And he was like, Claire gets in the ball pit with me. I was like, no, baby does not get in the ball pit yet. Give her about a year and she can get in the ball pit.
Yeah. So you live here in Oneonta, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. And, so you grew up here in Oneonta. About sisters?
Oh, 3 sisters. Yeah. I'm the third. Catherine lives in Nashville. Elizabeth lives in Amarillo, Texas. I'm here. And then Marilyn lives in Birmingham.
Okay. All right. So y'all are dispersed.
Yes, very dispersed. Alabama football brings us back together, though. We all meet up in Tuscaloosa for football games.
Well, that's great that you have something that brings you back together, because, I mean, that is a real challenge over time.
Yep.
is that's something that we as a family do fairly a couple times a year, and it's great. I mean, it's what you really should do. It's just neat that football that gives you that something to put it back to.
I think it's funny with 4 girls that it's football. It brings us all back together, but that's what it is. What
Well,
we do.
it's common interest, I guess.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's the way things kind of evolve. So you got you have your sisters, and then of course school. You're a Redskin or whatever, Oneonta. And then Jacksonville State. Anything there? I mean, were you any kind of organizations or anything that?
Yes, I was in a sorority. I was an AOPI, and then Jake was a Delta Chi, which is what you were,
Right.
and Matthew Crow.
Yeah.
I remember when I was at JSU, I knew that you were a Delta Chi, and I found your composite on the wall. I took a picture of it and sent it to Jordan. But at the time, I didn't know Matthew Crow, so I need to go back and find his and take a picture of it. I didn't know to look for his then, but
I was hoping that they had maybe lost it.
Oh no, it's still on the wall.
Okay,
it's still on the wall.
It's been a while, 40 years or so. So that's interesting. That's really cool. But that's one of the things about the whole Greek thing. I'm not a big, just crazy Greek, but it does kind of bind some sort of connection.
Yeah.
And it's important. So we go from there. Well, so what you mentioned another job. You worked in East Teboga. Who'd you work for at East Teboga?
I worked for Frank Proctor. He's actually from Oneonta. He owned a performance shooting business, and I helped him run his business for a little while I was getting my master's. Very not similar to what I do now at all, but did that for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, we've talked about this in some of the interviews too. Is that we're kind of we're a product of all of our experiences, right? And they all matter. And I think that's something that's critical for people to understand, because I mean, we get resumes sometimes and they skip or leave out what they think is not important, and it's all important. And we want to kind of know what you've done, what you've experienced, and maybe how that's gone, And so it is something that, for whatever reason, people want to discount working at McDonald's or whatever it is that they happen to do. I mean, I worked in a grocery store, so those kind of things are very important, and we need to know where you're from, what kind of made you who you are, right? So that's neat, and I'm glad to see that you made it here.
Yeah,
and I know that it's been a busy, 3 years, I guess, as far as kids go. I mean,
yes,
that keeps you, you're either having children or ready to have children. And with that, keeps things kind of moving.
Yeah, it's funny. When I started at the bank, I've been here almost 7 years now,
Wow.
which is crazy. But I wasn't even engaged. I was single and dating my husband. And then I've gotten engaged, gotten married, and had 2 kids in the last 7 years working here. Big life changes.
Yeah. So you've been through that. Chapters are going fast. That book's moving quickly.
You blink. Yep.
Well, as far as the bank goes, I mean, we talk about this too, and we have lots of responsibilities. I mean, almost anything, anytime. But what's your primary responsibility, your primary role as far as the bank's concerned?
Primary role is loan ops. So doing all the back end stuff on the loans, like uploading the loans, checking to make sure everybody signed correctly, maintenance on loans. That's the main duty. And then still rotate into processing loans. The loan ops team, we do that. We rotate Saturdays now to process loans. So still fresh on that a little bit. But
yeah. Well, what happens is from a customer's perspective, and even from certain team members' perspective, a person walks in, sits down, applies for a loan, they've been approved. Now we're going to loan them the money. They're going to get, because they're not really in here for a loan, they're in there for the money. And so, what happens after that is just, again, it's one of those quiet busy, what I call, or it's just unseen and people don't really understand. But there's quite a bit of things that happen to make it to where you can, for instance, if you have our app or whatever, you can see the balance, you can make payments, you can do the things that you need to do. Just signing the paperwork is just the beginning of a process. It takes, a good amount of time, and then it gets to be, then it's permanent and it's done. And that's what you're involved in, is that back end. And so it's really has to be done. It has to be done correctly. And that's, again, it's historically, we've seen people sitting in offices or doing work with people. And when we're not in an office, which out here at the Op Center, we're not, we're at a cubicle, there's still quite a bit of interaction going on. There's still quite a bit of business going on. And I guess that's one of those things that you just have to kind of know, right? Because what's happened and what happened. So what kind of things do you and Jake like to do outside of work? I mean, just time off.
Right now, life is just busy with kids, but we try to let Price do as much as he can, like take him to the zoo. He loves to play golf. We're not really taking him to the golf course yet, but hit golf balls in the front yard. Just try to keep him busy and out of the house. Mm-hmm. That's our main thing. Our anniversary is tomorrow, and we're going to go see the new Jurassic Park movie. So that's exciting.
Congratulations.
With 2 kids, that's a treat to go to the movies. But life is just busy entertaining the 2-year-old right now.
Yeah. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. Currently.
I guess that, 2.5, and you're pretty well consumed by that. It's not a lot of other going on. But let's say pre-child, what is it that you really enjoy doing, or is there something that y'all do just a hobby?
Yeah,
maybe?
we love to go to Alabama football games. So like when football season comes around, like we're planning out our weekends to get down there. Alabama basketball in the spring, we like to try to do that. We like to go on trips. So if we can go to the beach, we like to go to the beach. We actually were supposed to, when we got married, we had a trip planned to Canada. COVID hit. Didn't get to do that. And then we were supposed to go to Costa Rica, and Jake tore his Achilles. And so we couldn't go to Costa Rica because we were going to hike and do all the crazy things. Ended up in Mexico for our very belated honeymoon, but we have plans. We want to take both of those trips, hopefully take our kids. So once they're a little bit bigger, we're going to go to Canada. We're going to go to Costa Rica. Finally going to take the trips.
Yeah. You got that thick list.
Oh, yeah. We had it all planned. We were ready. We know where we're going, everything.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked a little bit about this too, is that, are you the planner? Or are you the free? Normally there's a real. Oh,
yeah. We're polar opposite. So I'm the planner, big time.
Is that right?
I'm the organizer. Yep. And Jake is just free spirit, go with the flow. I wish I had a little bit of that in me, but I am definitely the planner.
Yeah.
Organized. Yep.
So you have it all written down. And this is what we're going to do, and this is when we're going to do it.
Yep. Yeah, if we're going somewhere, I'm like, okay, here's our checklist. We've got to go through all these things before we can get in the car, make sure we have everything. But it's a good balance.
2 young kids like you guys, you got a lot of equipment that goes along with that.
Oh, yeah. You're like moving the whole house if you go anywhere, basically. Yeah. Got a plan.
Oh, well. Well, as far as your time here at HomeTown, I know that we've talked a little bit about the uniqueness of our team and our, organization. What did you find is the biggest difference, say, for instance, between your previous job and this one?
Well, I also worked in Birmingham for a little bit, so I've got experience both where I was in East Aboga, where I was kind of the only employee for a little bit, and then I've also worked with a lot of people. Here, I feel like the biggest difference is just the freedom, really, to do your job. No one's really checking behind you. We do kind of a little bit, make sure, if you're not doing your job, someone's going to notice, but just get it done, and they're going to trust that you're going to get it done, and no one's really just sitting there just watching you do anything. So that's really nice, just the trust that everyone has here in each other.
It builds over time, but it's also one of those things that's necessary to be successful, and we pride ourselves on it. We from being here, we spend a lot of time on it. We talk about it. We try to get clear about what's expected, and that's one of the ways you do it. And I just I'm kind of taken back every day that how much work we really do get done in a short period of time. And I think that's one of the reasons. It's because you're free. We talk about that, the freedom with responsibility idea, that free to do it, but you're also responsible to get done. So, and leave it there. Let's don't get too get our hands in it too much. All we can do is mess it up. That's why I try to stay as far away from it as possible, because all I'm going to do is mess it up. What is it that you're really just enjoying about all this right now, about life?
I'm really just loving, like, seeing life kind of like through them. Like, I feel like when you have kids, like, your whole, like, you change basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so much joy, like watching them just every day, just like every day they discover something new. And it's just so exciting, like watching them live life. And it's like simple things that like before, like just passed me by. And now it's like things are just more fun with them.
Yeah. You're kind of getting a do-over.
Yeah. I don't like to say I'm like living life through my kids, but it's just fun to watch them like just do everything for the first time. Like we took my son bowling the other day. Something so simple we've done a lot. I mean, growing up, we went bowling a lot, and magical for him. Like, it was so much fun. He still talks about it like every other day. He's like, I want to go bowling. Something so simple, but brings us a lot of joy.
Yeah. Kind of the innocence, I think, reminds us what we're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. As far as your hometown experience, I guess, what's something there? Is there anything that you can remember that was kind of crazy or funny, or one of those stake in the ground kind of events that may occur?
COVID was crazy. Working curbside and stuff. I feel like everyone's probably going to say COVID was crazy.
Right.
Something funny happened yesterday. I ordered DoorDash for lunch, and I went outside to get my food, and the lady yelled out the window at me. She's like, "Is this a putt-putt place? Can people come play putt-putt here?" I was like, "No, this is HomeTown Bank." And she was like, just kind of looked at me like, "Okay," and just drove off, because we're at the operations center and with our little putt-putt outside. And she's like, "Is this somewhere people can come play?" I was like, no.
This is not open.
We're going to have random people outside playing putt-putt.
Yeah. Well, we were required to do a green space in front of the building. That's one of the requirements in the city of Oneonta. So we decided we'd make it, have some function.
Yeah.
So we started the putt-putt course. So now they're everywhere,
Yeah.
So now they're going indoors, and it's kind of cool.
Yep.
But we're built around the idea that, you work hard, play hard. Not say play hard, just enjoy, and whatever we can do to enhance it, we try to make that a priority. So I appreciate you bringing that up, because, again, sometimes you wonder, was that something we should have done? But most of it occurs when we're not here.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of fun. Well, thanks again so much. I know your time is very valuable, Christine, and just taking the time to be on the podcast today. So thanks again, everyone, for joining us for the HomeTown podcast, and we look forward to seeing you next time.